Welcome to lesson number 1 of Simplify, Systems and Processes. Now, the very first step before we can go any further in building a process is really understanding where we need to start, right? So I mentioned in the introduction that anything in your business that repeats is a prime target for a system or a process. Now, that is true, but there's also some clarifying that I'd like to provide for you. So let's just lay the groundwork for what we mean when we say something repeats in our business or recurs in our business. By that, I mean there are tasks and things that you do every single day, every single week, every single month, maybe every quarter, every year, that are just like you did before. You did them yesterday, you do them today, you do them the next day. You do them on Monday every single week. You do it once a month on the first of the month. You follow me? And frankly, the vast majority of the things that you do in your business truly are recurring. I mean, yes, there are limited windows of time where we have one task that we do and it's in a vacuum and then it's one and done. Like say you build your website, the project's over, you move on in your business. But when it comes to running our businesses and really executing the things that make it work, i.e. generating sales, a lot of the activities are repetitive. So let's just use an example that virtually everyone is going to understand. Social media, right? So within social media, there's a series of different things that happen, right? So one is, well, we have to create content. We need to create the post. So depending on how you run your business currently, you might be saying, oh God, like I'm creating those daily and putting them out. And you might not know, or you may actually know that that's not the best way to do it. It's not. But on the other hand, there may be things like content creation that you're doing in batching. So maybe once a week, you're sitting down and you're creating your post for the week. Much better way. And you're getting all those together. Now, after you've created the content, let's say we have to schedule it. I'm also a fan of this. So let's say you're batching a week's worth of content, then you need to go schedule it, and you're scheduling it in the different platforms you use. So maybe that's Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, for example. Then after that, we need to go engage in the platform, of course, because people might have commented on our post, or we want to reach out to fans, we want to reach out and engage with other people on Instagram, etc. There's engagement. Maybe we want to look at our analytics. You follow me? So inside of just that one topic alone, social media, we can see that there's multiple pieces to it, and those pieces occur on different routines. So in the case of creating content and maybe scheduling it, that might be a once a week thing, but maybe engagement is daily. We're in there every single day engaging with our fans, right? So the very first exercise we want to go through is just simply a brainstorm, thinking about our current business and what actually does repeat. What are the things that you do every single day that you repeat every day? What are the things that you do every single week that repeat every single week? What are the things you do every month that repeat every month? Now, I will say there may be some things where you say, well, they should repeat every week, but I don't always do them. That's good. You should put it under the which column you want it to belong under, because that's a really good indicator you probably need a system or a process in place because you're currently not executing something that you actually know you need to be doing inside of your business. Make sense? So that is going to be our very first exercise. Now, you'll find a worksheet attached to this, and it's going to have those 3 columns, daily, weekly, monthly. But I want to point out what you do not see on that currently is anything beyond that, quarterly, annually, any other variation that's greater than a month. And the reason is this. If you want to create the most immediate impact through this course, I want you to be identifying something that happens daily, weekly, or monthly, because you're going to start to see how quickly and easily this works, and then you can take it into other areas of your business. So, for example, you may do annual planning, and there may be a routine and a rhythm that you want to execute, which would be great. And that would be an awesome thing to build a process for so that you know every year what you do. But that might not be the most impact that you can have when it comes to how you run your business every single day, week, month, right? So we're going to start with that lower hanging fruit by design. Because once you have identified one of these things and you've built the process like we'll do in this course, then you can take it out to some of these other things. They're a little bit further off and they'll make sense then in a very different way. Okay, so that is your very first charge. So download the worksheet, sit down and fill that out. Now, I do want to point out one thing. Sometimes it can be hard just to self-generate. Like you might sit down and be like, God, I can't even think about what I do daily, what I do weekly. And if that's you right now, do not worry. What I'd suggest you do is print out that worksheet, leave it on your desk, and as you go throughout the course of an entire week's worth of work, just mark down what you're doing. So let's say it's Monday morning and the first thing you do is like you check email. Well, you might write that into the daily column, like checking email. Cool. Then what do you do next? And just follow your entire week's calendar and start plugging those things in as you do them into which column they belong in. And that's a really good way of getting a sense for how you're spending your time, but also helping you identify those things that fall into repeating routines. You follow? Okay, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. And I can't wait to meet you in the next lesson because then we'll be landing on the one that we're going to take into this course as we build our very first system and process together. All right, see you then.